Hello, everybody. For anybody that knows Simon, you'll know he doesn't look like this. So my name is Scott Castleman. I'm the Vice President of Exploration for Rackla Metals. Forward-looking statement, if you're interested in reading that, it is available on our website. Is a location that Rackla is working. We're primarily in the Northwest Territories, in Northern Canada, a little bit in the Yukon. Our Astro project crosses the border. We've been focusing in this area since 2022, primarily looking for reduced intrusion-related gold systems because in Yukon and Alaska, there have been some very recent and significant discoveries, and that's what brought our attention there. I'll dive into our projects that we worked last year. The Grad property, which you can see on this map, was our main focus in 2025. We made the discovery at Grad in 24 with some very high-grade surface sample results from a showing we called the BITE showing, B-I-T-E. And in 25, we drilled a 10-hole, 4,500 meter program focusing on that discovery. The results, for anybody that followed the company, the results were really disappointing there, unfortunately. Our best result was 2.5 grams over 10 meters. And if you're familiar with the reduced intrusion style mineralization, what you're looking for are, hundreds of meters of a gramish type material. What we realize is the system is a little more complex than we originally thought, and perhaps we need to look at a different targeting approach on that one. While we were working that project, we also looked at a number of other, did a regional program in and around it, and came up with a number of other discoveries. Just south of BITE is a target we call the Manta. It's a different intrusion from the one that hosts the BITE occurrence. We got several high-grade gold results from surface sampling there, including rock samples that were up to 52 grams of gold. So it'll be a target we'll do a little bit more work on next year and hopefully bring it up to the drill stage. And then to the west of BITE, our Calypso target was a grassroots discovery from last year. We focused in that area based on government regional geochemical sampling anomalies for the typical pathfinder elements you look for reduced intrusion, so that being bismuth and gold. And we got some good results there. Talus fine sampling that defined a 500-meter anomaly of coincident bismuth, arsenic, and gold. And then sheeted quartz bismuth veins in the intrusion there that rock samples returned over 10 grams. And then the Ogre discovery, we made that discovery in 24. Didn't follow up on it very much that year because BITE took all of our attention. But this year we got back in, conducted stream sediment, talus fine sampling and prospecting, and we were getting rock samples as high as 5.2 grams per ton gold. And what we're going to focus in for the rest of the talk is a new acquisition. We staked some claims at what we call the Leonard property. And it was a real, two targets there. One that we knew about before we got in, which was a historic tungsten mine. So the blue area to the north is what's known as what we're calling our Leonard tungsten project. There was a strategic opportunity to acquire 100% in Leonard tungsten deposit through claim staking. This region was in land use planning up until last summer, the summer of 24. And when we finally got down there and looked at it this year, we realized that there was much more there than we had originally thought. This target is located 45 kilometers north of the past-producing Cantong tungsten mine. It's 11 kilometers within the Howards Pass access road, which is the road that leads to the Howards Pass sedimentary exhalative zinc lead mine. With the opportunity to acquire, we own it 100%, and we're very excited about that. There are 15 known mineral occurrences there, 2 of which host the deposit, and I'll speak more about those resources. They're not 43-101 compliant, but we hope to bring them up to that standard this coming summer. And then another very interesting target is the ridge to the south, what's highlighted in pink. We're calling that our South Leonard rare earth target, and that came about completely out of the blue, a real serendipitous discovery, and I'll talk more about that. So first, looking at Leonard tungsten, it was a strategic acquisition, critical mineral tungsten deposit that became open for staking in 24, and we did all of our staking this year. Tungsten was first discovered there in 1960, and from 1977 to 82, Union Carbide Exploration conducted an extensive exploration program advancing the project to pre-feasibility level at that time. That historic work included almost 27,000 meters of drilling and 178 holes, and much of that core remains on the property. You can see a picture here of what it looks like now. We went and looked at those boxes, and they look like they're quite recoverable. There are box tags on, some of the marker blocks inside are still legible, and the drill logs that we were able to acquire actually have the box numbers and marker blocks on them. So I think between working with the original drill logs and those boxes, we should be able to rebox and catalog all of that and make use of it going forward. The other thing that was really exciting about this is a prospector that had the property before us, once he found out that we staked it, approached us and said he had all of the original Union Carbide files from the 1970s and 80s. Original drill logs, handwritten sheets, assay sheets, metallurgical, environmental, resource calculation studies, the original Mylar maps, and all of the geophysical and geochemical data. We've got all of that, and that's all being scanned right now. Within a couple of weeks, we should get that and be able to throw it into a modern modeling program. A little bit about tungsten. So according to the U.S. Geological Survey 2020 update of deposits around the world, Leonard is one of the highest grade tungsten deposits that is known at present. You can see it there circled in red. And then our neighbors to the south, Cantung was past producing, shut down right now, shut down in 2015. And then Mactung, which Fireweed Metals is looking to bring into production here shortly, shown at the far right. As I mentioned, in 1980, Union Carbide calculated a resource for Leonard at 2.82 million tons, grading 1.27%. There's significant room for expansion of that. In 81 and 82, they drilled another 78 holes, but because tungsten price dropped at that time, they didn't add that to the resource. So that's one of the things we'll be looking at doing this year. The geological setting, Leonard, like Cantung, like Mactung, are tungsten, copper, gold skarns hosted in limestones and in the intrusion. Tungsten primarily occurs as the mineral scheelite, and the gold and copper are associated with retrograde skarn facies. The resource there was calculated on 2 of 15 zones, so there are 13 more zones that have had a little bit of drilling, but perhaps with some more drilling there we can bring them up into a resource category. And one of the highest grade zones is located about 8 kilometers south of what is the deposit is known as right now. So that very excited to get in there and test that and see if we can increase the resource there. A few tungsten facts. I'll just go through a couple of the key points here because we're running out of time, but tungsten is, of course, indispensable in modern industry. It has the highest melting point, highest boiling point, greatest tensile strength, and high density equivalent to gold. So it exhibits remarkable hardness, elasticity, ductility, and resistance to corrosion. You can see the graph on the right. It's used in many uses. One of the concerns that people often has is its use in defense, but that's only about 8% of its uses. It's used a lot in industrial tool making. And of course, China dominates the known resources. They have about half of the known resources in the world and 84% of global production. So that's why governments now are looking to diversify their supply of tungsten and why this project might be significant for that. So now we'll look at the South Leonard rare earth target. When we were evaluating this area, we went in there looking for gold to see if the Cretaceous intrusions nearby had the potential to host reduced intrusion gold. They don't. But when we got our results back, we were surprised to see that the 11 samples that we collected on Leonard Creek returned highly anomalous rare earth minerals. You can see the lanthanide series of rare earth elements there, all of the geochemical values we got. So it was very surprising to see this. We had no idea what to expect there. And it appears that the rare earths are not coming from the tungsten side of the valley. They're probably coming from the south side. A reason for that is we sampled the streams draining out of the tungsten coming down out of the hill. They did not have any rare earths in them. It was only the main stream down at the bottom that did. And then we looked at the regional geochemical data from government surveys. So in Yukon and Western Northwest Territories, there's been over 42,000 stream sediment samples collected over the past number of decades. Some of those samples, originally they weren't analyzed for rare earths, but as time has gone on, the government has gone back and reanalyzed some of the pulps for rare earths. And the highest values for 5 of the rare earths occur from South Leonard Creek, from the area where we're looking. And that's in all of that 42,000 samples that have been analyzed for rare earths. In the top 5 are another 4 rare earth elements. And you can see those in that little, just on the outside of that little pink highlighted area. That would be bounded by Leonard Creek to the north and South Leonard to the south. And then looking at a few of the other elements here, that the previous map was cerium. This one has lanthanum, samarium, and ytterbium, and europium on it. So you can see as well the red dots on either side of that pink area show some of the highly anomalous rare earth values that we're getting. There's very little known about that ridge in between, where the rare earths are coming from. We know it's hosted, it's a very old Proterozoic phyllite in there, but there's no indication of any intrusive rocks. There's been no assessment work done in there, no sampling as far as we can tell. So it's completely blue sky area, and that's one of the things that we'll be tackling as we go forward in this year. Historically, much of the rare earth element production has come from alluvial placer deposits around the world. Leonard and South Leonard Creeks may have the potential for placers as well. The minerals, rare earth minerals, are dense and respond well to gravity separation, so production from a placer source can be very quick and cheap, and that's something that we'll evaluate in 2026. A few of the rare earth facts. Rare earths consist of 15 elements, plus yttrium and scandium. They're, as you know, used in high-tech, a lot of electronics. China accounts for 70% of the production, 70% of the mining and 87% of production. So again, that's why governments around the world are looking to diversify their source. Upcoming catalysts, we got data being scanned. We're going to incorporate that into a modern database. Permitting is underway. We are planning a substantial program in 26. Share information, fully diluted, we're looking at 173 million out, 9.7 million in cash as of January 1 in the bank, 38% insider ownership. Thanks.